Hello, hello, and welcome, my Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers. Welcome to your timeless romantic soulmate contract read with extended. I am your reader, fellow Earth sign Virgo that I am. Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, Mal-L today for the time of this recording. I am a professional witch. I am a professional intuitive. I am the president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, an S corporation before LLCs existed. I am the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a Kindle version of it available. There's a link in the description box, and if you click that link, you get the opportunity, if you so choose, to preview a good chunk of it and see some of the prayers, practices, and principles that have kept me in business and things I learned even before I started the company. And if you're down in that description box, by all means, feel free to check out my patreon.com/drawing the circle production. As an earth sign, it is the wisest, most amazing, most fun, creative, coolest thing I have ever done as a spiritual teacher, a mystical artist, a professional intuitive, a professional witch, and all of that jazz. At the time of this timeless recording, we have 8 levels of subscribers. Let me tell you about them real quick. Seeker, human, hero, angel, witch, immortal, mystic, god, goddesses. 1 tier, it is the top tier. They get everything because they're gods and goddesses. And they, all of my subscribers across the board, regardless of level of subscription, get a couple of things in common. Number 1, they get the extended readings, past, present, and future. Since I started doing the extendeds, they're all over on Patreon for all of my subscribers. You can pay per view, Vimeo on demand. That is the first link in the description box, and I love me some Vimeo big time. But they also get my subscribers on Patreon the daily check-ins, an unlisted YouTube live stream link, allowing them and us to chat with each other every morning, sitting on my couch, streaming from my laptop, cup of coffee, usually a bathrobe around me, cats everywhere, talking about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications. Always ending with a little prayer, a little blessing, a little meditation, a little something to send us on our way. It is my favorite way to start the day, and it is my favorite thing on earth right now. So I love it. I think you might too. I think you'd get a lot out of it, but you know, that's why I'm putting it out there in general. So click the link, check it out. Look at the menu at least. Sort of like DoorDash, you don't even have to leave your home. Yeah, go click the link and come Patreon on Patreon. Because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But you can just call me Mal. I have major crushes on Capricorns. I'm going to blame it on the planets, you know, the astrology. Let's get down to business. We got to do some explanation before we do the divination, because we always have new people coming to the channel. So let's do just that. We are doing a soulmate contract read, but a romantic one. All soulmate contracts are about a pre-incarnational agreement with different souls to help each other heal through the quantum entanglement of a soulmate contract. Twin flame is different. There are links aplenty in the description box talking about the difference between the two, not just my videos, but other people's, all sorts of I was raised by a divorce lawyer, so I'm very, very good at contracts, so that's what we're looking at, a contract read. Well, party number 1 over here, party number 2 over here, and the state of the contract, the clause in the contract, the track on the album, the scene in the movie, the chapter in the book, so to speak, of where they are in a timeless read, so that each one of them can do their own healing. And if you're already together, then you can consciously help each other heal. But if you haven't met, or, you know, didn't go well before, not all romantic soulmate contracts are easy peasy, eggs and cheesy every single lifetime, right? So to kind of heal what is ours to heal within ourselves, we automatically help our soulmate contract partner heal through the holographic unity, quantum, timing. Please don't make me do math. But I love these reads. The extendeds are juggernauts. Some of them go over an hour long. So, in the extended reads, we'll talk about them. There's a lot. But enough of explanation. Let's do the divination. It is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because it might have different aspects of the same romantic contract, or you might have more than one. We're not talking about Whether the relationship is for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, it's all about doing something that we've been trying to do on the planet for centuries, if not millennia. A happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract on planet Earth. I'm sure they've happened sporadically throughout the human timeline. But how would that change this world if all of a sudden that became more and more dominant in the vibration? Funsy onesie is what it would be. We would be in paradise because everybody would be too busy having fun and loving and all of that. So, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the best that I can to get us the clarity, guidance, and grace needed to do probably what has never been done before en masse. And the shift from all of that explanation, which is necessary, to the divination, which is simply divine, hence the name. That shift happens in the still point. Won't you join me? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Very funny. Like you're a cross between Game of Thrones and Krypton. I kind of am today, aren't I? One more time. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. And here we go. Using the Caroline Mace archetype cards, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video who are drawn to this reading. Please, I need 3 of these. 1 for the dominant archetype in the 8th chakra of party number 1, which will be to my left. 1 archetype, the dominant archetype in the 8th chakra of party number 2, which would be on my right. And the 3rd, we will not turn over until the extended reading. The first card we turn over, and that's the dominant archetype in the 8th chakra of the state of the contract. Both of them together, right? 8th chakra dynamic, sending down the codes to all the other chakras, shifting what they attract and repel so they may no longer, well, they can choose to no longer delay, which cannot be prevented. And we've been doing it with these souls over and over and over again for lifetimes. So, beloved pantheons of the divine, party number 1, 8th chakra dominant. Party number 2, party number 2, slippery, 8th chakra dominant, and state of the contract, which will be the first card we turn over in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract read for the Capricorns and the cross watchers. Let's see who we got now. These first 2 cards we are going to turn over are in the title. Let's see how brave you are. An engineer and a destroyer. Well, that sounds handy. Let's talk about this. There are 9 different families of archetypes. The engineer is a creative family archetype, and it's not all about tools and metal and engines and stuff like that. That's one manifestation, and an incredibly powerful one, Hephaestus, god of fire and forge, if we want to go there. But the destroyer can very much be a wild card family. One of those ones that doesn't fit. It really does depend on the situation. It could also be an action family. That's what I mean. The wild cards can fit in pretty much all of them or pretty much none of them. So written on each of these is a shadow attribute. I call that the lead. At the top, the light attribute, the gold. 3 atoms in between lead and gold on the periodic table. Lead is heavier, so those 3 atoms have to be released, right? Transformed. They cannot be created or destroyed, only changed. I prefer the term alchemized in the language of spiritual alchemy in order to help themselves heal their own personal healing, which of course in the quantum entanglement of this reveals itself as you go along. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to take 5 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to get the next 4 chakras down in fire, earth, air, water, and spirit. What's called an element spread. We are going to do the lower 3 chakras on this side with the mythic tarot. So this is the feminine, internal, heart, third eye crown. This is the masculine, the external, and the yang, lower 3 chakras. And then in the extended reading, we switch. So you do get the full chakric schemata, if you will, both sides in the extended. So we're going to get all 10 of these on the table, and then we're going to turn them over element by element, fire, earth, air, water, and spirit, in that order. This is the fun part. Please take a nice deep breath. Well, it's all fun if it's fun. Still point. As I call upon my beloved goddesses of Earth, the sign of Capricorn, powers of the North, please, beloved goddesses of Cardinal Earth, creative Earth, 5 cards in clarity, face down, element spread. For party number 1 with the engineer archetype in the 8th chakra. In this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract with party number 2 with the destroyer in the 8th chakra. Let's start with the element of fire. Heart, third eye crown. What do they yearn for? What do they burn for? What do their hearts desire in this contract? Their element of earth. What is it that they already have? The fuel to feed the fire, to ground and manifest their heart's desire in this contract. Their element of air, their predominant thoughts, heart, third eye crown, about this contract. Their element of water, what they predominantly feel in this contract. Do you see how easily these are coming out? And the card of spirit, please, the point of view of the soul, the voice of the soul, the message of the soul that incarnated to play the role as party number 1 with the engineer archetype in this Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, and cross watcher. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. Breathe. Still point. As I call upon my gods of earth. The sign of Capricorn. Powers of the North, please, beloved gods of Cardinal Earth. 5 cards, face down, fire, earth, air, water, spirit. For party number 2 with the destroyer in the 8th chakra. We're gonna really go deep into these in a minute, I have a feeling. For party number 2, a destroyer in the 8th chakra. What is their element of fire? Lower 3 chakras, outside in, inside out, relationships in the physical world. What is it they yearn for, they burn for, what their heart's desire in this contract? What about their element of earth, that fuel to feed the fire that they already have to manifest their heart's desire? Their element of air, their predominant thought about this, their, or at least how it look, right, or what they're thinking about. Element of water, their predominant emotions in this contract, what they feel about this, and of course the card of spirit, the point of view, the voice of the soul that incarnated to play the role of party number 2 with the destroyer archetype in the 8th chakra in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. Now we're doing this a little bit different this time. I'm going to read you what's on here, the lead and gold, so that as we flip these over, it'll make more sense instead of doing it earlier on. The shadow, reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. Now, come on, we've all done that. It's like, you lie to me, you're gone. Now, that is still how I roll mostly, but, you know, there's a bit more compassion over the years. This is just one example. The light attribute, ability to give creative energy a practical expression, particularly in relationships. That's a good strategy to have. So again, it's not all about, you know, nuts and bolts, unless you're into that sort of thing. Talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas, which happen all the time in relationships in all shapes and forms. The destroyer archetype in the shadow, intoxication with destructive power. Destroying others' dreams or potentials. We've all done it. We've done it to ourselves too. The light attribute, releasing what is potentially destructive. Think about that. To release what is potentially destructive. When something is building up, building up, building up, you can use it to destroy, or you can use it to create. Art, as an example. And preparing for new life, right? So just clearing the field, as it were. So keeping that in mind, we've got an engineer in the 8th, destroyer in the 8th, and party number 1 with the engineer has 2 of cups. Speaks for itself. The whirlpool, 2 cups dropped in opposite ends of the whirlpool will eventually meet and be the most circuitous route to get there, but that's what they want. And if we're talking heart, third eye crown, that's heart chakra. That's pretty plain. Here, 9 of cups. This one wants to walk away. Now, Walk away, not so much in the Mythic Tarot by Juliet Sharman Burke. This is Psyche, P-S-Y-C-H-E. It's Greek for both the word butterfly and soul. In the myth of Eros and Psyche, Eros is Cupid, the son of Ares and Aphrodite, the god of romantic, erotic love. Now, the whole suit of cups is this myth, so I highly recommend the myth because she's not walking away from Eros here. No, they're already married in the Three of Cups. No. It's a tricky situation, interesting myth, but essentially in order to win her mother-in-law's favor, Aphrodite, she has to run some errands, one of which is to pick up some underworld rapid wrinkle repair from Persephone underground. So what they want is to go deep. This is not necessarily always about walking away. This could very much be about walking into the self, taking the descent into the underworld to do the alchemy, the shadow work, face the fears, what have you, and ultimately to find the ninth cup, which is the self-love, is the wish fulfillment. Good. I'm not with the destroyer. I could see that. It's like I need to go inside. I need to deal with this. All right. Element of Earth. What they have. Okay. Right now, party number one, their element of Earth on the inner is the Five of Blades. Now, to have the Five of Blades, the Five of Swords, one thinks argumentative, but fives are numbers of change, and I would say this is very third eye. The card of the hurricane, all of that mutable air, right, moving, shifting, constantly can be very destructive, but the safest place to be in a hurricane, metaphorically speaking, is in the eye, the still point. Yeah? So all of those thoughts spinning around. Now look, if there's somebody that you're in love with, or at least you have that Two of Cups attraction to and you want them, well, the mind can certainly take over with what if anticipation. It's making me wait. It's making me late. But also to know that when you're overthinking conflicting thoughts, this could be I often call this the toxicity of the well-meaning. Well, you know, right? Friends, family, rumor, gossip. But all of that going on the inside, it can certainly be a processing of information, which of course would lead to the Six of Blades, which, as we know, is on the whole a card of moving from choppy water to smooth. So here we've got the Four of Swords. So we've got the Five of Swords essentially here, and we've got the Four of Swords. So they are in mental rest, contemplation, meditation, going in, looking inward. So it looks like they're actually doing or have the capacity, should they so choose to do it. And since it's what they want, that does make sense. All right, since we've got quite a bit of air, this should be interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to say the chances of this one being the Capricorn on this side is the case, because here's the Capricorn. One would think, possibly, 10th house dynamic, Pasui, the Buffalo Woman. It's a court card. It's a court card on the inside. Absolutely, this could be the Capricorn, right? Inside, particularly if you're Capricorn Moon or Venus or whatever. The Crone of Pentacles is the King of Pentacles in Rider-Waite-based traditional tarot, so cardinal earth. So the thoughts might very well be on climbing that mountain, slow but steady, wins the race, 10th house, highest potential. Now there's a difference between your higher potential and your highest potential. You always have both. But your highest potential is the one that terrifies people, even the greats of spiritual, just read the ancient scriptures of different traditions. They always run first. They're always like, what? You know, nobody just ran to the burning bush day one, right? Unless they did. But there is definitely that highest potential to get to the top of the mountain. And then understanding that the top of every mountain is the foothills of the next. There's no end to that journey because there's always a higher potential. But your highest potential in this situation as the engineer, I think, speaks well with this element of air. If you can be comfortable with the third eye, like this is a thought process I am going through. No hurricane lasts forever. Believe me, I live on Long Island. I know of hurricanes. But to be in the still point, to be in the center point, in that stillness, will absolutely help you kind of ground, right? That earth element, heart, third eye crown for me talks about wisdom you've already gotten from the outside world, but you may not know is there. So take your time with this. Think this one through. Really, either one of these could be the Capricorn with that there, particularly if party number one is thinking about party number two and their heart's going swirly, swirly, right? Over here, we got the World card. So on the outside, it's kind of like they're just completing something mentally here, the card of the World. The snake swallowing its own tail, Ouroboros, Hermaphrodite, who is the child of Hermes and Aphrodite. It's where the word comes from for hermaphrodite. We are looking at a real graduation here. We are looking at a full circle, some sort of completion of a major thing in their life. That could also mean that that's what they're thinking about, doing that. Now, if these two know each other, there may be some conflict here and there, but maybe someone's getting ready to make some kind of commitment or to, graduate, take this to the next level, wrap up what has been in order to move into what may be, and that would make sense for preparing for new life, right? Party number two, Destroyer. Element of water, this is key. Kuan Yin, 9 of Cups. This one's got it. This one's already got that 9th cup on the inside. The Chinese goddess Bodhisattva of compassion and contentment, one of the goddesses, the great mother ones. And by the way, in the extended, we are using the Kuan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild to summarize and synthesize all of the Daughters of the Moon tarot once all 10 of them are on the table. So this one has the self-love. I'm going to tell you, if you're party number one, if that's you're really aligning, resonating with that. I mean, mirroring can go on too, obviously. But that really is saying, it's like Kuan Yin is about let all things be as they are. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing stays the same in the outside world, but love, our core, is eternal. It never changes. The unconditional love stays unconditional love because it is the core of who we are. So I kind of like this. I like this side of it because on this side, party number two, Destroyer in the 8th, you got the Wheel of Fortune. The fates are going, it's time, kid. You have put this off long enough. Or whatever the case may be. I love that. One spins, one measures, one cuts. This is a divine timing thing. It's fated. Now, the thing about fate, you could consider fate the lead in the archetype. Can't change your fate. However, right, like the color of your eyes, you can get contact lenses unless you get complete eyeball replacement. Is that a thing? I don't think it is. You probably can't change your eye color that way. But what you see with them, right, that's your choice. That's your decision. That's the alchemy from fate to destiny here. So, hard third eye crown on that one in the extended, I really want to see. Because I'm kind of vibing towards this side a little bit. But, I try to keep myself out of the readings. But I love Capricorns. Don't sue me. I have really good lawyers. Okay, so we got compassion and Wheel of Fortune. Sounds like a soulmate contract. Let's see. The Spirit card. Oh, okay. Well, let's do this side. So, the soul is saying for party number one with the Engineer, 4 cups, darling. You got 5 of blades, a lot of thought going on. Do the emotional work. Now, 4s are numbers of rest. To me, on the emotional guidance scale, if you want to Abraham Hicks this, we've got from depression at its worst to meh at its best. Maybe a little boredom because of that waxing, or I should say the ebb and flow of the waves there. 3 cups spilled, 1 cup standing. You usually see that in the 5, but in the 5 in this deck it is the storm, the 5 of cups. So this might be some emotional release. This might be some emotional rest. This might be a very strong empathic bond with this one too, come to think of it. On this side, got the 2 of cups. Our first official double whammy. Only 2 tarot decks. We got the 2 of Cups twice. This is definitely... they're romantic reads anyway. That's in the prayer. It's in the intention before I even hit the record button. But that's beautiful. And this is... how Eros met Psyche. Aphrodite said, she is getting too much press. Everybody's saying she's prettier than I am. Go kill her. Go kill her. He says, came on. Hunts off with his arrows, pricks himself on one of the golden ones of love, sees her, falls madly in love, but she hasn't seen him. But he tells her who he is and says, I want to marry you, I love you, but don't look at me, because if you look at me, you will fall instantly in love with me, and I want you to love me for who I really am. Which you got to admit is a boss move, right? Well, it's a long journey. There's probably, if I left it in there, a YouTube video that's sort of a panel by panel, like almost like comic book telling of the story. It's good. It's actually really good. It may not cross every T and dot every I, but it's a good introduction to the myth itself. And, you know, so you two, I would think you would know each other. Or if you have not met yet, the soul is saying on this destroyer, get yourself ready, they're coming, it's there, it's time, right? In the physical world, it's time. And on this side, if they haven't met, kind of the same thing, they want this, they got all these thoughts going on, like the hurricane, find the still point, right? Think about the longer journey there, the internal journey mentally, got that 9 of Cups. Yeah, but I could see the 4 of Cups saying it's okay to feel what you're feeling here in the 4. Rest into it. And we do have a double 4 here as well. Okay, done with Tarot Town. Let's go to Oracleville, shall we? 2 Whispers of Love oracles, the voices of the higher selves of each collective. We're going to be using, this is Angela Hartfield, we are going to be using her Whispers of Lord Ganesh, the elephant-headed Hindu god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, to help remove the obstacles of the symbolic 3 atoms in between lead and gold for the whole thing. But all of that comes after we flip over the state of the contract archetype. But for now, please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love for party number 1 with the engineer archetype in this Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and crosswatcher? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract with party number 2 with the destroyer in the 8th chakra. Peace of guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power. For party number 1, higher selves, same thing, party number 2 with the destroyer in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract with party number 1, the engineer, in this timeless romantic soulmate read. I love you. These are very important words, and I know that card by heart because it's the same design except for the border color. These are very important words. I love you. Now, start within. Start within, start within. I love you. Whatever arises, love that. Matt Kahn, you know a Matt Kahn healing mantra card is going to finish this one up. Our last card down before we jump to the extended. Over on this side, appreciate this moment, party number 2. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. I get a feeling for the majority of people watching this, these two have not met yet. That's the feeling. Because it seems, well, we are looking at the inner here. Once we flip and get the chakras, the lower 3 on this side, that will, I think, make sense. Plus, as well as I'm using the Lover's Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno to get you general past, present, and future timeline. So, makes sense. Let's get the healing mantra. It does not matter if you're party number 1 or party number 2. Just work the mantra. They work if you work them. I've had this deck now for years. I use it myself personally. I don't do a reading without them anymore because they sometimes make a very general read, incredibly specific. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Last card down. I call upon the Ascended Masters of Romantic Soulmate contract reads, and that's got to be an interesting arm wing of that law firm. Please, my beloved Ascended Masters, 1 card in clarity for the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers watching this video. Drawn to this reading. What is a perfect healing mantra to help them alchemize the shadow to light, the lead to gold, the pain to peace, the toxic to healthy? In this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract to manifest their heart's desire by water, earth, air, fire, and spirit. The engineer, party number 1, Destroyer, party number 2, I love you and appreciate this moment in this timeless romantic soulmate contract read. Celebrating simplicity, I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Built-in mnemonic device, more and less. So, look, the complexities of it. You know, are we seeing any major arcana on the table at all? Only 2, and only on this side so far. Okay, so to me, major arcana are places, right? Stages we move through in life, right? They take time to go through. Minor arcana are things, right? Things you got to deal with on the road, inner or outer, right? And court cards on the outer can be people, certainly, but on the inner, can deal with your own personal astrology, whatever. So putting this together like this, there's a way to do this that can not just be simple but celebratory, but all the moving parts have to be reorganized. So let me read you this, and then we'll bless this thing in a blessimation, and then that will end the reading. But then I want to talk a little bit about some changes coming to the channel. Perhaps you might be interested at the end, as well as how to book me for a reading, because at the time of this timeless recording, my prices are about to change. Creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when there is less to manage and maintain. When cooperation is created, the unity of all is accessed to accomplish more in one moment than any one person can do alone. As a creator of cooperation, you are giving others the right to contribute, which only broadens the effect of collective expression. Now think about that. Cardinal Earth, creative, that's what cardinal means. Creative Earth, creating cooperation. That feels really good. Once cooperation is created, all facades of competition melt away, allowing each individual to feel a renewed depth of self-worth by serving a vision greater than any degree of individual gain. This mantra is ideal for enhancing teamwork. Is this a work situation? I mean, it is Capricorn read. Earth signs like to work. Meet a lot of people. Transforming family dynamics, because that's where we learned how to cooperate, or we didn't at all. Somewhere in between, usually. And increasing inner peace, which I think, you know, first of all, think of that emotionally as the spoke in the center of that wheel, that inner peace here. And with Kuan Yin, at least emotionally, feels really good. So a simplicity here. Now these 3 words, 3 simple words, could change anything. They are in a way an alchemical ingredient, right? I love you, saying it to your own lead, your own fear, your own pain, right? Doing that process. But I'm not getting shadow work here. I'm getting more creativity here than destructivity, even though we've got the destroyer. Because honestly, if their true heart's desire right now is to go inside and maybe face their shadows, right? Appreciate this time to find that 9th cup of self-love inside, absolutely worth it. And the 4 of Swords on the outer speaks highly of them, of at least pulling back and maybe going into some meditation, contemplation, etc., etc., etc. So let's put this together. Let's blast the crap out of it. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the company, because it's time. And then we'll jump over to the extended. And I've got the hardware. Please take a nice deep breath. Remember, I love you. Still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video and drawn to this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need to manifest the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest romantic soulmate contract that they can, with party number 1 embracing their ability to give creative energy, practical expression, and that they can exercise their talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas, particularly by saying I love you inside, outside, upside down, to the other, to the gods, to the whoever. It is the alchemical ingredient. And so that party number 2 can release what is potentially destructive in themselves and maybe in their lives as well, preparing for new life. so that they can both celebrate simplicity in their lives, where they are, whether they've never met, they're about to meet, they've just met, they've known each other, they've been married for decades, whatever the situation is, how complex these things can be. May they be blessed with all that they need for that I love you, and that so they can appreciate this moment, celebrate simplicity, because more is going to get accomplished when there is less to manage and maintain for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. So motor be. And so it is. If that made sense, if you liked it, please hit the thumbs up, please subscribe, please hit that notification bell, and please comment, because what it does for Drawing the Circle production is help other people find this very video. But over on Patreon, we have no algorithms. You sign up for a level of subscription, you get everything on there. And my first level seekers, $3 USD a month, gets the daily check-ins and the extended reading for this one short. Please Vimeo on demand if you want. Every bit helps pay my bills. I'm not kidding. I'm a Virgo. I keep an eye on these things. But if you are so-called, go check out. Go click the link. We've got so much good stuff over there. And I don't put out crap. I won't. My integrity won't allow me. So, 25 years, however, 25 years ago when I started the company, I upped my prices to $100 an hour flat rate for private sessions, spiritual counseling, hands-on healing, readings, obviously. Well, it's time to up those prices. Changes are being made, and at the time of this timeless recording, there is a video in the description box, Booking a Reading with Mel, which will explain the process of how to do it and what's involved. But my prices, they are changing, particularly after post-pandemic, getting out in the world and doing house calls and stuff. So if you book me for anything, it'll be $100 an hour, flat rate, before May 1st. Even if we book it for December, you'll still get it for that rate. So click the link and check that out if you want to book me. But book me quick, because there ain't that much time left. Most importantly, have at it. Celebrate the simplicity. Capricorns are supposed to get younger as they grow older, and that certainly means a simplification of things, the things that are more important, that are more in value. But whoever the Capricorn is in this one, I think you got this. Can't wait to see what the state of the contract is. So wishing you the very best and the very blessed. Have fun with this, my beloveds. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed be.